Hello, Fat Grandma here. It is June 10th. This is my solds video, and this will be for, May 22nd through June 8th. So 18 days of sales. And I had a total of 47 sales, I believe. Just to catch you guys up, if you've been watching recently, you'll know that I sold a helicopter that was brand new, and I knew from the beginning the buyer was going to be a problem. And I got an email this morning, and he wants to return it. So I get to refund him whenever it shows up, and pay extra shipping. It was $25. I overpaid for shipping when I sent it to him. I had not anticipated having to make a box for it because it was already in a box. I was going to wrap it. Someone that I live with suggested it needed to go in another box, so I made a box for it, but that made the package bigger, and therefore the shipping cost went up. So he paid like $13 for shipping, and I ended up spending over $20. Anyway, so I have to pay for a label for him to return it, and then I have to refund him. So that helicopter turned out to be just, not a great sale. Thankfully, I had another really good sale that makes up for that. That item is shipping tomorrow, but we'll get to that. And I did mention it in my most recent Ride With Me video. It was a bolo. So anyway, going to get into my solds. There are quite a few. I had 47, like I said. So I'm going to try to rush through this as much as I can. And you guys will see photos up here in the corner. I'm going to try to leave them up longer. There's going to be some sales that I'm going to have to just, leave the photo up for a short period of time because there was a lot of Hot Wheels in here that sold. And one person bought several lots or packages of Hot Wheels. So those photos are gonna fly through, but you can't really tell what they are anyway. So it's not really going to matter. Anyway, if you have not been here before, my name is Paula. I have a small eBay store. I was selling on Poshmark occasionally, and I had a shop at District. I'm not bothering with either of those sites anymore. It wasn't worth listing there. I wasn't getting the same number of sales that I get on eBay. So I'm just sticking with eBay for now. Once I move in November, I might try Poshmark again. I might list over at District. I don't know. Everything's up in the air. But anyway, I'm going to try to get into my sales. I'm not going to talk very much about each item and see if I can get through these. So there's a lot, thankfully. At the end, when I give you guys my breakdown, you've got to keep in mind a lot of these sales, and I will tell you which ones were mine and which ones were items that I got for free that came from one of the bedrooms. Because if you've been following along, you know that my mother has a couple of bedrooms that were just loaded with stuff that she bought over the past 30 years, and I'm selling a lot of it. Well, not a lot of it. She's thrown away a lot of stuff, but I'm selling the things that I can sell. So, and the helicopter was one of those things. But I had a bad feeling about it from the beginning, and I knew it was going to be a problem, and it was. So, it is what it is, and I just have to move on with my life. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not getting relisted either. I'm gonna end up donating that because I don't want to deal with it. I just, I don't want to deal with someone else not being able to find it. It's a whole thing. Anyway, first item I sold. Actually, these are in reverse. So the most recent item I sold was two Christmas ornaments. They were porcelain hinged trinket box, but they were round, ball shaped. They were enamel painted. Those sold for $12.74, and the buyer paid $7.16 in shipping. Those have been listed for probably a year. Not sure exactly, but it's been a while. So glad they sold finally. Most of these things also were sold when they were on sale. So I've been running sales pretty much nonstop since I found out I'm going to be moving, because I'm trying to hoard money. Okay, next item I sold, and this has been listed for close to 2 years. A Betsy Johnson oversized woven basket tote beach bag with colorful flowers and stuff on it. Sold for $13.77, and shipping was $10.21. The next item I sold, and I have not had this for very long, was a vintage Fitz and Floyd toy wreath ceramic trinket gift holiday box from 1998. I had the box for it. Sold for $11.47, and shipping paid was $9.02. The next item I sold, and if you guys watched my most recent Ride With Me video, you'll know about this. It was a bolo. It was a box of Crayola crayon commemorative 100 billionth big box with sharpener. Was still sealed. Sold for $99.99. The buyer paid $8 in shipping, but I have decided I'm going to ship this UPS second day. So I'm going to be paying an additional, I don't know, somewhere around $10, because I want to get it there faster. I do not want these crayons to melt while they're shipping. So anyway, something to keep your eyes out for. If you didn't see the last video, it was a ride with me. So you might want to check that out, because there was another box too, but we'll get to that. The next item I sold was a 2009 M&M's World black slot machine candy dispenser. It was new, did not have the box with it though. Sold for $22, and shipping paid was $7.26. This came from my mother's stash. I'll call it that now instead of hoard. Let's see. Oh, the crayons did too. They came from that as well. Next item I sold was another box of crayons. This one was opened. They weren't used, but it had been opened. It was a vintage Crayola crayon, 64 with built-in sharpener, retired colors, opened, unused. $19.99 is what the buyer paid, and shipping was $9.82. Hopefully those get there without melting. I did not pack that one in ice and do, faster shipping with it, because it was $19.99, so I wasn't going to, bend over backward for that one. But the $100 one, I'm going to spend a little extra money for that. Now, let's see. The next item, this came from, the collection, was a lot of 3 Hot Wheels blimps. One was Flying Aces, one was the Fuji blimp, and the other one was the Goodyear blimp. The 3 blimps were brand new, sold for $10.19, and shipping was $7.23. The next item I sold, and this has been listed for a long time, was a cow-shaped wood cutting board with rope hanger. It was about 13 inches long. Sold for $7.64 and $8.16 in shipping. Next item I sold, let's see, and I have not had this for very long really, was a Starbucks 2011 Venti 20-ounce white large tall ceramic coffee mug with a matte finish. Sold for $14.44, and shipping was $9.52. I had an offer on that was like way below, and I was like, no, I just listed this. You're not getting it. They wanted it for like $7. I was like, no. So, and then it ended up selling for what I was asking. So I was like, I love when that happens. The next item I sold, and I have had this for close to 2 years, was a teacup and saucer set, pink roses and mint, made in England. New Chelsea Staffs was the brand, or New Chelsea Staffs. Sold for $16.14, and the shipping was $10.21. It was very pretty. It just sat for a long time. Let's see. The next item I sold was 2 incorporated Angels Cherubs musical chimes resin wall clocks with roses. They were 10 inches. I got these at a yard sale, and I think I paid $5 a piece for them. Anyway, they sold for $45.90 for the 2, and then shipping was $10.24. So glad those are gone. I've had them for a couple months. Not too bad, but still. After I got them home, I thought, oh, these were a mistake, but they sold, so. And I made some money on them, so it was good. Let's see, this one, Hot Wheels, lot of 7, vintage Porsche and Ferrari. So there were several. There were 3 Ferrari and 4 Porsche. Sold for $20. Now, I do not have the shipping on my chart. I download all of the information. The shipping's not showing up on here for some reason. I'll put it on the screen when I share the images, what the buyer paid for shipping. I'm sure it wasn't a lot, though, but anyway. And I'll do that with any of them that I don't have the shipping on this spreadsheet for. I don't know why the shipping amounts didn't download, but they didn't on some of these. So the next one I sold was a lot of 10 vintage 90s Hot Wheels muscle cars. And I just went through all of the Hot Wheels hoard that she had and found anything that was a muscle car, like a Camaro, those kind of things. Put them all together if they didn't go with a set, you know. And anyway, those sold for $15. And this is another one that I didn't have the shipping downloaded on, so I will put that on the screen with the photos. Okay, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lots sold to the same person. So I am just going to put the pictures up here, and it's going to go through and show them to you, but they may not match up with what I'm reading, so you'll just have to look at them and go, okay, that's sold. The first was a lot of 35, and these are all of the same person. Lot of 35 vintage Hot Wheels first editions, 96 to 98. There were some duplicates that sold for $30. The next one was 1997 vintage Hot Wheels Rad Rigs 5-card gift pack, sold for $5. The next one was a 1997 Hot Wheels Flag Flyers 5-pack, Porsche, Lamborghini, Toyota, Corvette, Land Rover. Those sold for $5. The next one was a 1997 Hot Wheels Haulers gift pack. It had Tropicana, Jolly Rancher, a Recycle, and Hot Wheels Team Racing vehicles in it. They were a little bit larger than normal, and those sold for $8. I took offers on all of these because this person bought so many. Let's see, the next one was a lot of 28 vintage Hot Wheels, 7 complete 4-car series. So what they were was sets of 4 cars where there'd been 4 in the series, and I had 7 complete sets of those. Those sold for $33. And the next one was a huge lot of 65 vintage 90s Hot Wheels series cars. There were several duplicates in this set, and that sold for $40. The next one was a lot of 20 vintage 90s Hot Wheels. I separated these out. They were military vehicle, city services, and construction type vehicles. That set sold for $20. And then the last set that this person bought was a lot of 30 vintage Hot Wheels, 10 partial series. So there were 4 cars in each series, but I only had 3 out of the 4 cars in these 10 sets. So those sold for $30. The shipping on that I will post up here because it's all over the place. So, you know, they paid for each item on the shipping, but then I refunded them, I think around $35. But I'll give you guys a total on the shipping after I get done with this. Let's see, the next item I sold was a lot of 72 vintage 90s Hot Wheels, variety of makes and models, some duplicates, $45. So those were like 50 cents a piece plus shipping for the buyer. Next item I sold, this was from my stuff, was a Build-A-Bear Spring Fun Bunny, Bright Flowers 16-inch Build-A-Bear Spring Easter is the way I had it listed. It's been listed for a very long time. I already made my money back from the lot that it was in. It sold for $8.50, and shipping was $7.14. The next item I sold was a Lenox Elfin Collection Bone China Ivory Leaf Bud Vase. Had no gold trim on it. It was 4.5 inches tall. Sold for $7.23, and shipping was $7.33. So they paid a little bit more for shipping than they did for the item. That was also from my stuff. Okay, another thing from my mom's pile of stuff. Hot Wheels Jeep CJ7 number 3259. It was unopened, but the package had a crease, and it sold for $9, even with a crease in the package. So that was a good one, a decent one, compared to the rest. Anyway, $9 and $6.45 in shipping, and they've already left feedback. So the next item, this is mine, was a Lennox Morning Blossom 6-piece place setting, including the soup bowl. These were dishes, and I I priced them with place settings so that I wouldn't have to ship them all at once, because it was like 25 pounds worth of dishes. Well, someone bought all the place settings, so $226.44 is what they paid, and shipping was $73.67. Now, they overpaid on the shipping by close to $20, but I didn't refund anything yet because I'm making sure everything gets there unbroken. Uh, you know, that was a pain. I had to ship it. I shipped it in 2 boxes, just to break up the weight because there were so many dishes. Um, anyway, I'm hoping they get there and nothing's broken. And for some reason, it seems like I talked about those in a past video, but it wasn't a solds video. So I don't know, but I think I told you guys about this sale already. Maybe not. I don't know. Next item I sold was a pair of vintage women's Tootsies moccasin periwinkle size 7.5 medium. They were brand new, sold for $24.99 and $14.17 in shipping. These were something my mom had in a closet. So next item I sold was an April Cornell 45 by 45 red gingham tablecloth with seersucker fabric with floral border and peacocks on it. Had some stains on it, and I pointed it out in the listing. Anyway, it sold for $8.49. Typically, that item would have sold for at least 3 times that amount, maybe 4 times that amount. But with the stains that I didn't see when I bought it, it took the value down quite a bit. Someone bought it anyway, though. And the shipping they paid was $7.12. Next item I sold was a vintage handcrafted or hand-carved and painted quail on driftwood figurine. This is from that lot of quail. If you guys have watched my videos, I picked up some quail and roadrunners in an auction lot. Anyway, this quail paid for the lot, and I made a little bit of profit. So anything else that sells from that lot is just profit. Sold the quail for $18.70, and shipping was $7.26, and they have already left feedback as well. The next item I sold, and this I believe was from a viewer, Beth, I think, is who purchased this. Thank you, Beth. Southwest Pueblo Cacti Tile Trivet, Santa Fe, 4 7/8 inch square, Desert Dream Studio, sold for $5.35, and shipping was $6.45. Thanks again. Really appreciate the support. Let's see. The next item I sold, and this was something that I bought in an auction lot, and I broke up the set. Was a History Channel Civil War chess pieces only complete set. So the History Channel had this. It was multiple games, and it was a giant. It was so heavy, the chessboard, but it had drawers. There were the figures for chess in it. There were also for backgammon and a couple of other board games, and the chessboard was dinged up pretty bad, and the handle was missing for the drawer, the knob. So I got rid of the board and I took all the pieces out. One piece had been repaired, you could tell, and then 2 of them were broken. So I repaired them, and I listed just the chess pieces, and I wrote in there 3 repairs, read, and then I took photos of all the ones that were repaired. Anyway, the pieces alone sold with the repairs for $22.75, and shipping was $7.31. And they already left me positive feedback. So yeah, and I think I paid 10 plus fees and stuff. So I paid $12 for it, but I've still got. So I made $10 on it, I guess, and then I still got the other pieces for backgammon and stuff like that. Haven't listed those yet, but I will. The next item I sold was a vintage Tonala parrot bird signed Mateo, hand painted in Mexico. It was 7 inches. Uh, Sold that for $15 and $9.52 in shipping. Cannot remember where I got that bird. I think it was in a lot, but I'm not positive. Let's see, the next item I sold, and I think I paid $5 for these, was 2 stag or deer antler horn bottle openers. They were 6 inches plus a little bit. They were over 6 inches. $17.60, and shipping was $6.93, and that person has also left positive feedback. Let's see, the next item I sold, we're getting there. We're almost there. Trying to hurry. Next item I sold was a 1948 Bing & Grundle Christmas plate, The Watchman. There was no box, no certificate of authenticity with it. Sold for $15.19. Shipping was $9.52, and I paid, I think, 5 or 6. Well, I paid 5 plus auction fees. So I normally don't buy plates, but again, and I've mentioned this before in a solds video. I will buy a plate if I look at the solds and see that they sell for a decent amount and that the market isn't flooded with them. If there aren't a lot of them listed, or there are none listed, and there have been some that have sold in the past 6 months, and I can get it for cheap, I'll go ahead and buy it, and I made like a $10 profit, well, $8 profit on that plate, so I'm fine with that. Some extra money. The next item I sold was a ceramic rooster pitcher, hand painted, Deruta, Italy. It was 9 inches tall. I did not have this listed very long, I think just a couple of days, and it sold for $15.19. Shipping paid was $8.16, and I do not remember. I think I got that at a thrift store for like $3, so not bad. The next one, this is from a bedroom, was a Rudolph Misfit Toys 18-inch Bumble light-up yard decor. He was the last one. Sold for $16 and $7.26 in shipping. Those Bumbles are all gone now. There was 4 of them. I don't know. Anyway, the next item I sold was a 1999 Arizona Diamondbacks National League West Division Champions Extra Large T-shirt. Sold for $15 and $6.52 in shipping. It's been listed for a while, but someone finally bought it. Okay. The next item was that stupid helicopter. It sold for $90, and it says it was $20.82 in shipping, but I ended up paying 25 something for the shipping. So it was 20 that he paid for shipping. Anyway, this sale doesn't count because I'm gonna lose money on it now because I have to pay for the return shipping. So whatever. We will forget. I want to burn that helicopter out of my memory. No more electronics for me. It just doesn't go well for me, ever. Let's see. The next up, what's funny? This is a side note or whatever. When I was a kid, and through my teenage years, I could never wear a watch without killing it, unless we finally started painting the back of the watch with the back of the face with nail polish. And I don't remember who told my mom to do that, or but something about me had an effect on me wearing a watch, because it would stop the watch. The watch would not work after I wore them. So I have no idea what that is, or was. I don't wear watches anymore, so it stopped happening at some point, but for a long time we would always put nail polish on the back of the face of the watch so that it wouldn't actually touch my skin. I have no clue what that was about. Anyway, back to the solds. Let's see. Useless information about Paula. This came from my mom's room. Again, another item was a vintage 1995 Hot Wheels Silver Series 2, and it was complete with all 4 cars. Sold for $9.18, and shipping was $7.09. The next item was something that was also from my mom's kitchen. This is months ago, over a year ago. We dug out a bunch of stuff out of her kitchen. This was an Anchor Hawking microwave bacon cooker rack. Sold for $7.74, and shipping was $8.84. Let's see, the next two items were, again, from my mom's pile. Women's vintage coaster sandals in pink, size 7. And the other pair was a women's vintage coaster sandals in yellow, also size 7. Both of those sold for $10.79, and shipping paid was $7.33 for each pair. I think the same person bought those, and I would have refunded a little bit of the shipping. So still like almost $22 for two pairs of shoes that I didn't pay for. So that was good. Next item I sold was a resin Persian warrior bust in armor and horn helmet with a mace. It's just the bust. He was holding a mace, or there was a mace over his shoulder. Anyway, it was hollow. It was 7.5 inches tall. Sold for $9.18, and shipping was $8.16. The next item I sold, I was so glad this finally sold, but I did not make a lot on this because I can't remember what I paid for it, but I think I only made like $10 on it. It was chipped, and you couldn't see the chip when I bought it. So it was an elephant resting with the trunk up, porcelain Capo di Monte, and it was M. Requena, Valencia, Spain. M. Requena was the artist, or the creator. Anyway, it sold for $25, and shipping was $9.52. It was really pretty, and I could not see the broken flower petal in any of the photos from the auction, but one of the flowers was chipped. When I started taking photos, I found the chip. So again, with the not being able to rely on the photos from the auctions, let's see, 3 more things. We're almost there. Let's see. I sold the flying brass Pegasus horse, finally. Did not sell for much. I have had it listed for a very long time. Thankfully, I got it for free. Sold for $8, and shipping was $18.36 for this thing. I got an offer on it, and I just went ahead and took it. I got tired of having it sitting under my desk. I kept bumping into it, and it was obnoxiously big. It was like 11 inches tall by 11 inches wide, and it's gone. I didn't pay anything for it. I got it for free from the auction house that I went. I used to go to this one a lot. Now they just do firearms and coins mostly, and I have no interest in those things. So that's not for me. So I haven't been going there anymore. But she gave me the Pegasus, and so I probably made $5 on it after the cost of packing materials in the box I had to go in. That's okay. It's gone. And the next item I sold was 2 floral Cloisonne enamel over brass opium snuff boxes. These were about 1 7/8 inches tall, so not quite 2 inches. Very cute, very pretty. I sold the bowl in my last sold video. You guys saw the bowl, that flowered bowl. It was really pretty. Anyway, these 2 items came with the lot that was in, so I'd way made my money back. These 2 little snuff boxes sold for $25.20, and shipping was $6.62. And I've already gotten my feedback on that one, so that was a good sale. The last item, a 1996 Hot Wheels Kmart exclusive Thunder Trucks 4-pack, and again from the bedroom, $8.66. So let's see. Now, I figured all of this before I knew about the helicopter issue. So I have to subtract like $115 from this total, or you guys can do that in your head. Total sales were for the past 2+ weeks, 18 days, $1,155.24, and that's not including shipping labels and stuff. That's just the goods. I don't use eBay's total sales because they include the shipping that's paid and tax. And I don't consider that it's not my money, so I don't care. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear everything lumped together, Anyway, my ASP went up to $19, the average sales price per item, because of the helicopter and the dishes that I sold. That drove my ASP up. My net for the past 18 days, after all my cost of goods, after everything, was $800. Now, which is astounding for me. That's a very good 2.5 weeks. But I have to take a little over $100 off of that. So somewhere around 675, which is still not bad for me because my normal sales or my normal net for about a week is usually somewhere around 100, maybe 125. So, I mean, that's what it's been up until the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, I guess. But this is my best selling period so far. Uh, you know, not not with the taking out the helicopter. I still had a decent sales period, for the 18 days. So, I think that's it. I'll try to remember to add the shipping in on the items that I didn't have it for and give you guys the total shipping for that big batch that all sold to the same person. Um, okay, it's Monday, so this should get uploaded tomorrow, I think, or by tonight. Yeah, it should be up. I hope I can get it edited by tonight. I have to pull photos for all of these items and, get them matched up with the items that sold, especially that one big lot. That's going to be fun to figure out. Maybe I'll just throw them up there and let you guys see them. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope that you guys have a great week. I hope you have a good weekend next weekend. Sorry about the dark in this room. I should have addressed this at the beginning of the video. It's supposed to be hot again today, like over 105 hot, and I do not like to turn a bunch of lights on in this room because it just adds heat to the room. So I've got one light on over my desk, and that's it. But you guys will mostly be looking at the photos, so pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and bye.